camaradas, bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio de Varias Podcasts. Regresamos después de un tiempo, pero venimos con pilas renovadas, energía, mejoras técnicas y con mucha ilusión. Para este regreso, hoy hablaremos de la República Socialista de Vietnam a nivel histórico, sus respectivos ciclos económicos, el paso que supuso el Doi Moi o apertura económica para el país y cómo se encuentra en la actualidad. Para hablar de ello tendremos con nosotros a Nguyen Nhu Viet Anh, vietnamita, actualmente está estudiando Relaciones Internacionales en la Universidad de la Amistad de los Pueblos Patrice Lumumba en Moscú. Bienvenido, welcome.
I'm very happy to join the podcast today, and I will tell you guys all about Vietnam and the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, my country, where I was born.
Bien, pues en primer lugar es imperativo preguntar por la influencia e importancia del padre de la nación y del socialismo vietnamita, Ho Chi Minh, el tío Ho, como héroe revolucionario y libertador frente a los imperialismos, primero francés, liberando al país de la colonización, y posteriormente el americano, en esa guerra que duró 20 años y que costó tantas y tantas vidas, pero también la solidaridad internacional de los pueblos. Y posteriormente el establecimiento de la República Socialista, ya sin Ho Chi Minh, lastimosamente. En su lugar estaría Le Duan, su más fiel escudero, como nuevo secretario general del partido y presidente de la República Socialista de Vietnam. En primer lugar, me gustaría principar sobre cuáles son las principales características del pensamiento de Ho Chi Minh y qué papel sigue jugando la figura de Ho Chi Minh en la sociedad y en el Partido Comunista de Vietnam actualmente. What are the main characteristics of Ho Chi Minh's thought, and what role does Ho Chi Minh still play in society and the Communist Party?
So the Ho Chi Minh thought is deeply related to the Marx-Lenin ideology, but Ho Chi Minh adapted this principle to fit Vietnam's special condition at that time, at 19th century, 20th century, I mean. So basically, blending them with Vietnamese nationalism and traditional values. His core ideas include the fight against imperialism, against countries that invade other countries. That is, he against that, and the construction of socialism. Of course, he believed in the importance of unity, democracy, and the need for continuous education of the masses. Ho Chi Minh also emphasized self-reliance and the moral of leadership. His vision for Vietnam was not only to achieve independence from France, from America, but also to build society free from exploitation, where the welfare of people was the central of concern. And about the role of Ho Chi Minh in nowadays society and for the party, then he still remained a highly revered figure in Vietnamese society, and within the Communist Party of Vietnam, his legacy continued to guide the party ideological directions, and his image as the father of the nation and a symbol of patriotism and for the children to study of his work. His teaching are central to the political education of cadres and citizens, and the Communist Party of Vietnam, often invoke his name and principle when shaping policy or rallying national unity. And now in Hanoi, we have a Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, and it's remained a symbol of respect and admiration to him, attracting about many millions of tourists, including Vietnamese and international tourists.
Bien, pues en la primera década tras la guerra, el país estableció un sistema de planificación centralizada al estilo soviético, en unos momentos en los que se buscaba reconstruir el país, un país que quedó absolutamente destrozado tras la brutal guerra contra Estados Unidos. ¿Qué políticas se llevaban a cabo por parte del gobierno de Le Duan tras la guerra? ¿Qué logros se pueden destacar de esta etapa? ¿Y qué carencias o faltas provocaron el cambio posterior de política económica con el Doi Moi o política económica de apertura?
After the war, after the unification of Vietnam in 1975, the government implemented a Soviet-style centrally planned economy and focusing on the nationalization of industry, land collectivization, strict control all of economic activities, and the Vietnamese government prioritize the reconstruction effort, rebuilding infrastructure, reviving agriculture, and re-establishing industry by after decades of war. And social programs aimed at raising the literacy rate, expanding healthcare, and reducing poverty were also implemented by the government. And of course, during this time, there were many achievements. Positive achievements, such as the government successfully rebuilt many areas that has been destroyed after the war. They also laid the foundation for a united national infrastructure, and the literacy rate increased significantly, and the healthcare was also made more accessible, and the country achieved notable progress in field of social equality. And Vietnam also formed strong ties with other socialist countries, securing and technical assistance that will contribute to the post-war recovery. But of course, despite some achievement, the centrally planned economy also encountered several challenges, such as inefficiency, low productivity, and limited innovation. The country faced food shortage at that time, external aid, the over-reliance on external aid, the high inflation, and these problems prompting the need to reform for the country, for the economic plan.
Tras esta primera etapa que hemos comentado, tras la guerra de economía planificada al estilo soviético, en el sexto congreso del Partido Comunista de Vietnam, en 1986 creo que fue, se decidió aplicar el llamado Doi Moi o apertura económica, que consistía básicamente en una apertura económica al mercado, como ya se estaba llevando a cabo en China con Deng Xiaoping, pasando a lo que se ha denominado economía de mercado orientada al socialismo. ¿Cómo fue recibido este cambio fundamental en la política económica del país? ¿Cuáles son las razones o justificaciones para este cambio a nivel económico? ¿Y cuáles son los objetivos que se ha marcado el partido y la sociedad a largo plazo? How was this fundamental change in the country's economic policy received? What are the reasons or justifications for this change at the economic level, and what are the long-term goals?
Well, the renovation policy, also known as Đổi mới, introduced in 1986 at the Sixth Congress of the Communist Party of Vietnam, was largely welcomed as a necessary shift to ensure Vietnam's long-term economic survival. The policy opened the economy to market mechanism while maintaining socialist orientation. This transition was cautiously embraced by the party and society, seeing it as a pragmatic approach to development in globalized world, while still safeguarding the socialist idea of equality and state control over key sectors. But so why do we have this change in economic level? It's because the đổi mới policy, which calls renovation policy, was introduced to address the failure of not the failure, but some hardness in the planned economy, particularly to the stagnation in productivity and economic growth. The leadership recognized that a mixed economy with market elements would encourage entrepreneurship and attract foreign investment and increase efficiency for the economic and other sectors. The goal of the plan was to create an economy that could compete globally while ensuring that the state remained control all over critical sector. All the main sectors are still remained the government still can retain the control over these sectors such as bank, energy, and defense, military. And the long term of this goal of the plan is to build a socialist-oriented market economy that combines the advantage of the market with the principle of socialism. Vietnam aims to become a modern industrialized nation by 2045, and with a strong social safety net, reduce poverty and growing prosperity for all citizens, growing the life quality for all the citizens. The Communist Party of Vietnam, seek to maintain stability while fostering economic development and ensuring that the gains of growth are shared equality.
Desde la apertura económica, por ejemplo, el crecimiento del Producto Interior Bruto del país ha oscilado entre un 5 y un 8% anual, un ritmo muy elevado, que ha conseguido convertir al país en una economía pujante en la región y en el mundo, y tiene muchas expectativas futuras de ser una potencia mundial, por lo menos de optar a serlo. ¿Cómo se ha notado este crecimiento de la productividad y de la calidad de vida en el día a día de la población vietnamita? How has this growth been noticed in the day-to-day life of the Vietnamese population?
Well, since the renovation plan, Vietnam has experienced rapid economic growth, with GDP growth constantly between 5 and 8% each year annually at that time. And this had led to the improved living standard, better infrastructure, and increased access to goods and service. Many Vietnamese now enjoy a higher quality of life with access to modern technology, improved healthcare and education. Urban areas have grown significantly too, and rural poverty has declined due to agricultural reform and rural development programs.
Un aspecto negativo a destacar de esta apertura económica sería el aumento de la desigualdad económica en el país, la aparición de clases sociales, un paso atrás en cierto modo respecto a lo conseguido por el anterior modelo de economía planificada, también como ha sucedido en China o en Laos, otros países que han tenido un proceso similar. La pregunta es, ¿existe una gran diferenciación actualmente entre ricos y pobres en el país, y qué medidas se están tomando desde el partido y el gobierno para paliar estas posibles diferencias? Is there a great differentiation between rich and poor in the country? And what measures are being taken by the party and the government to alleviate these differences?
Well, while Vietnam economic opening has lifted millions out of poverty, the number of poverty has reduced a lot, but it's also led to an increase in income inequality. between everyone, between the people, and particularly between urban and rural areas, there are a big difference. But the party is aware of this challenge and has implemented various policy to address decline the difference between the rural and the urban area, such as targeted poverty reduction programs, social housing project, and rural development schedule. Additionally, the government continues to prioritize to support the access to education and healthcare as the tools for reducing the difference and ensuring inclusive growth.
Tras la apertura, también hay que destacar que el número de empresas de propiedad 100% públicas ha disminuido notablemente, pasando de 12.000 en el momento de que se aprobó la apertura a poco más de un centenar actualmente. Pero pese a ello, el Estado sigue teniendo un importante control y planificación sobre la economía. Las preguntas a este respecto son ¿cuál es el grado de control del Estado sobre la economía vietnamita actualmente? Y si se plantea la renacionalización y una mayor intervención pública a corto, medio o largo plazo. What is the degree of state control over the economic today? And are you considering the renationalization and greater public intervention in the short, medium or long term?
Well, despite the market-oriented reform, the Vietnamese state still retains a significant control over the economy. Strategic main sectors like banking, energy, telecommunication, and defense still remain under the ownership or influence of the government. So the government also used the state-owned and company to achieve broader social and economic objectives. However, private and foreign companies also play an increasingly important role in the country economic landscape at this time. For the greater public intervention or the renationalization, there's no current indication of a return to widespread renationalization. Instead, the Communist Party of Vietnam, seeks to maintain a balance between state control and a market mechanism. The focus remains on strengthening the state-owned company in critical sector while allowing private business to join the other sectors. The government is more likely to continue improving regulation and management of state sectors than returning to build the public ownership.
Bien, a nivel político y sociológico, cambiando un poco de aspecto a analizar, el control y el apoyo del partido y de la sociedad socialista siguen estando fuertemente instaladas en la sociedad, siendo predominantes y habiendo un consenso en la continuación del proyecto revolucionario socialista en el país. Pero a pesar de ello, alguien dice que existen distintas corrientes dentro del partido, unas a favor de mayor liberalización o de profundizar las reformas y otras a favor de o mantener actualmente como están más o menos las reformas del Doimoy o incluso empezar ya a pensar en la renacionalización y la recuperación de mayor control por parte del Estado de las empresas. La pregunta es, ¿existe unanimidad dentro del partido y la sociedad de mantener el sistema socialista sin grandes reformas sociales o existen diferentes sectores o posturas? Y si es así, ¿cuáles son estas fracciones internas y cuál es su peso actual? Is there unanimity within the party and society in maintaining the socialist system without major social reforms? Or are there different sectors or positions? And if so, what are these internal fractions and what is their current weight in the society?
While the Communist Party of Vietnam maintains broad support for the socialist system, there are different views within the party regarding the pace and the scope of reforms. Some faction advocates for more rapid market liberalization, while others emphasize to need for stronger state intervention to the maintain social equality and prevent capitalist existence. However, these differences are generally resolved through building mechanism within the party and ensuring over unity and stability.
Bien, ahora hablando de tema orgánico, de tema de cargos en el país, Vietnam no se caracteriza porque tenga una acumulación de cargos en una misma persona. De hecho, es común que el presidente de la nación y el secretario general del partido sean diferentes personas, aunque ahora mismo sí coincide la persona con Tolam, pero es común la división de cargos y el reparto de tareas. Entonces, mi pregunta es, ¿cuál es la estructura jerárquica en Vietnam actualmente, tanto respecto al Partido Comunista como respecto al Estado vietnamita? What is the hierarchical structure in Vietnam today, both with respect the party and the state?
Well, currently Vietnam still maintains the structure like in the past, but it's just that depending on the situation at this time, this year is already 2024, so there are a lot of changes in international relations and of course in many other sectors of life. So the Vietnamese the structure in the Vietnamese Communist Party basically didn't change, and they still retain that what it used to be in the past. It's just that it will have more updated and more. They will be changed to suitable with the currency situation, the currency situation in this time.
A nivel geopolítico, el país mantiene una postura de neutralidad internacional, no alineándose claramente en ninguno de los bloques que actualmente se están configurando en el mundo. ¿Por qué se ha tomado esta decisión de neutralidad, de mantenerse al margen de las disputas globales entre los países que buscan un mundo multipolar y uno unipolar? ¿Y cuál es la relación con Estados Unidos y, de otra parte, con países como Rusia o China actualmente? Why has this decision been made to stay out of the global disputes between a multipolar and unipolar world blocs or groups of countries? And what is the relationship with the USA and other countries such as Russia or China today?
Well, Vietnam's fortunate policy of nationality and non-alignment is rooted in the desire to protect the independence and sovereignty and the independence, the right to protect the country of Vietnam. So the country aimed to avoid all the entanglement in global power struggle and instead focus on peaceful diplomacy and regional cooperation, multi countries, like the big organization that have a member, and of course within the ASEAN, which is the Southeast Asian countries. The approach has allowed Vietnam to maintain a positive relation with major powers while safeguarding its national interests. And about the relation between Vietnam and other countries, such as the big countries like Russia, US, or China, then Vietnam still maintain a balanced approach in the relation with USA, Russia, and China, while Vietnam has strengthened its economic and strategic tie with US, it still continue to have a close historical relation with Russia, particularly in defense cooperation, and Vietnam relation with China is still complex because as both nations have strong economic ties, but there are some territorial disputes in the South China Sea. However, Vietnam seeks to resolve this dispute in peace diplomacy while maintaining the cooperation with China on trade and regional security. Basically, we can say that Vietnam try to remain in the neutral. We Vietnam still have our point of view, but we avoid to join in any dispute problem, especially that a war or a conflict. We try to solve everything in peace diplomacy.
Bien, ahora vamos a hablar a nivel de relaciones entre partidos y estados socialistas, concretamente cómo son las relaciones de la República Socialista de Vietnam y del Partido Comunista de Vietnam con los respectivos partidos y repúblicas de los otros 4 países socialistas existentes, China, Corea del Norte, Cuba y Laos, y también con otros países protosocialistas como pueden ser Venezuela o Nicaragua. Las preguntas a este respecto son cómo de fuertes son las relaciones ideológicas y políticas respecto a estos partidos y estados, y si la solidaridad internacional e internacionalismo, sigue siendo una idea firme dentro del partido. How strong are the ideological and political relations with respect to these parties and states? And is international solidarity still a firm idea within the party?
While Vietnam still maintain close ideological and political ties with other socialist countries such as China, Cuba, Laos, or North Korea, as well as countries with socialist-oriented government like Venezuela and Nicaragua. These relations are based on shared experience of anti-imperialist struggle and the desire to build socialist countries. Vietnam continues to express solidarity with nations that's supporting mutual development and cooperation. And of course, in the party, international solidarity is still remain as a core principle of the Communist Party of Vietnam. The party actively supports a global movement for national liberation, peace, and social justice. Vietnam participates in international organizations that advocate for socialist values and continue to provide support and technical assistance to developing nations, particularly those that share its socialist orientation. For example, Vietnam and Cuba have a big distance between the two countries, but Vietnam and Cuba still remain a tight relationship in political, and of course in economic. Vietnam and Cuba do not share a lot of really big results in economic. No, but it's can understand because the distance between the two countries, but the two countries still have each other in its strength. For example, Vietnam still have Cuba in problem that relate to economics because Vietnam has a good result in economic growth in this time, and Cuba helped Vietnam in medical problems, for example.
Recientemente tuvimos la trágica noticia de la muerte del camarada Nguyen Phu Thuy, uno de los líderes más importantes de la historia de Vietnam, que ejerció como secretario del partido desde el 2011 hasta su muerte este año. También fue presidente durante una etapa, compaginando ambos cargos, y bajo cuya dirección se han conseguido grandes avances y logros del país, tanto a nivel económico como social. Entonces, mis preguntas al respecto son cuáles son los principales logros bajo su liderazgo y qué ideas se desarrollaron bajo su mandato. What are the main achievements under his leadership and what ideas were developed under his mandate? Y por otro lado, incluye la mía pregunta, quería preguntar respecto a su sucesor, el actual secretario general y también presidente de la República Socialista de Vietnam, To Lam, respecto a los objetivos y línea política que este se ha marcado para el país. What can you tell us about his successor, To Lam, and the objectives, political line that he has set for the country and the party?
Well, under the leadership of Nguyen Phu Trọng, Vietnam saw significant economic growth and political stability. He strengthened anti-corruption effort, promote party discipline, and ensure that the party remained firmly committed to its social goals. His role, his mission at that time is also marked by Vietnam increasing global integration, economic expansion, and diplomatic success, particularly in strengthening relations with key international partners. And under his mandate, there are some main idea were developed. For example, Nguyen Phu Trọng emphasized the need for continued party and to continue the party purification and to continue the Marx-Lenin's principle, while also advocating for reform, for new update in economic management. His leadership focused on anti-corruption effort, promoting a more efficient, transparent government and a party that always ready for all the hardness can happen. And he also stressed the importance of maintaining Vietnam's socialist part in the face of global capitalist pressure. And about his successor, To Lam, he is expected to continue the political line of Nguyen Phu Trọng, maintaining Vietnam's socialist orientation while promoting economic reform and modernization. He is committed to strengthening the national security, improving the governments, and enhancing Vietnam's roles in the international stage. To Lam is seen as a leader who will focus on balancing economic growth with social stability and ensuring that the country will develop highly.
Ahora vamos con la última pregunta, la última sección del programa, en la que nos gustaría que nos recomendases un libro sobre Vietnam, su historia, su economía, su política. Can you recommend us a book about Vietnam history, economic, or political ideas and system?
You want me to recommend you about the books? So I think that there are a lot of books to read about all the history, geography in Vietnam. But I think there's a book, it's called, in Vietnamese, it's called Sử Việt. Basically translate to History Vietnam, and it's maintain all the information about the history of Vietnam from the first day of the first people living in the Vietnamese land, and all the history. For example, 1,000 years we were invaded, and we are under the invasion of Chinese for that 1,000 years, and then we gain independence, and then we have new hardness in the 20th century, for example, the attack of France, and then Japan, America, and some other war. But after all, we still pass through of it. And now Vietnam is one of the fastest growing country. And if you read that book, you can understand that Vietnam has rapidly grown very fast, although it has, for example, Vietnam has 4,000 years of history, but almost all of that 4,000 years were full by war and conflict. But still, we are still one of the fastest growing country at this time.
that's all. Thanks for coming to our podcast. Are very thankful to your participation in various podcasts.
Thank you, you guys, too, for this is also my chance to let everyone know more about Vietnam, my chance to improve and to present with everyone about the true Vietnam, the Vietnam, not beauty in all sectors. Not only we only do not have beautiful natural, but we also have beautiful peoples and beautiful political.
We wait to see you in the future.
Me too.
Y a ustedes, muchísimas gracias por estar ahí. Esperamos que les haya gustado, que les haya resultado interesante. Y así que volvemos con ganas, volvemos con energía e intentaremos tener un par de entrevistas como mínimo al mes. Si pueden ser más. Pero mínimo vamos a marcarnos ese objetivo para retomar y mantener un buen ritmo. Eso es todo y salud, camaradas, y viva Ho Chi Minh.